I watched your video on hemochromatosis, but what is it? Okay, so we obviously didn't do a clear enough job on explaining it. We will give it more explanation. I think there's a bit of confusion actually over the fact that potentially you might have felt that you could only get it done in London, the test in London. That's not the case. What we were saying is we went to London to get predictive testing, which generally you can only get done privately, or in fact you can only get done privately, and London effectively is the place to go unless you're it's closest and easiest for predicting enough of the different tests. So that's where we found out we had hemochromatosis. However, what you can do is go to your doctor, your local GP, and you can ask to be tested for hemochromatosis, simple blood test, a blood draw, and then they send it away. Now, what hemochromatosis is and why we are harping on about it is, I'll let Stephen.
It's basically for when you're genetically unable to get rid of iron. Every day we take an iron to our body from loads of different, from cooking pots, from drinking water, everything. We take an iron, okay? Now, you're not able to get rid of that iron. It can build up and that can cause a lot of problems, heart issues, cancer things like they're linking it to a lot of different things nowadays. But what happens is it takes quite a few years for that iron to accumulate and to start causing you problems. So that's why they often say
like 40 to 50
40,
years.
50, 60 is when you actually notice the impact of not being able to get rid of that iron. So all hemochromatosis is, and like Mark said, the genetic test is very simple, blood test, but even simpler than that is just to ask the GP to test your iron levels.
Yeah.
And they won't have that much of it. There's no issue with it because, you know, it's a legitimate thing, but you'll know if you have it, because if you are 30 and you have iron that's above normal, then you know, okay, we need to investigate further. Then they'll just do the genetic test. And it's just may as well be done. And, you know, we spoke to a guy in the hairdressers just about it just the other day, because he was actually a twin, and it was very interesting that they hadn't been tested for that, and it may not have been, but why not get tested? And so we just feel like we should talk about it.
And we're going to keep talking about it.
It would have had such an enormous negative impact on our lives in 30 years' time. And we think, and we try physically to do everything we can to be as healthy as possible.